Hello, Silver Stackers. Sunday, December 21st, as we look forward to another huge week in the silver and precious metals markets. I wanted to get into some technical analysis before the trading week opened here. Futures opening 5:30 p.m. tonight, Central Standard Time. We're really looking forward to that. There have been some fantastic interviews and podcasts that came out over the last couple days. But since we are so close to Festivus, amongst other holidays, wanted to do a little bit of the airing of the grievances. Now, I saw a luminary in the industry who I have great respect for. In fact, I hang on just about everything he says, but I disagreed with probably 75% of what he said in a recent interview. I'm not going to mention any names, but it was a lot of this, what I call doomer bait. End of the world stuff. The world's going to end. It's going to be pitchforks and houses being robbed tomorrow. A little bit of an older gentleman and believed some of the AI propaganda coming out that is infecting the silver space and perpetuated a lie that the CFTC was going to halt silver trading as of Friday. Now, amongst and amidst these volatile markets, these super exciting markets, I think you have to be really discerning who you are gleaning information from. Cooler heads will prevail. And I like to joke around as much as the next guy, but we need a little bit of professionalism with some of these more outspoken silver influencers, for lack of a better word. The information has to be correct. The AI thing was exposed immediately, has to be shut down. Do not follow, subscribe, or like any of that stuff. But also, for your own investment's sake, please get your information from professional sources that are vetting all of this information, or it's just going to muddy the waters for your investment decisions. We have to be deadly serious with this stuff. The dollar is being debased by the second. You're smart enough to be watching this and to be doing your research and to be stacking physical. So please be discerning who you're listening to. And I'll leave it at that. Now let's move into some analysis of the technicals on these charts. Some of these charts look amazing. Incredible opportunities here ahead of Christmas. So let's launch into that. Thank you for tuning in to Full Bore Silver. You're going to get a lot better information from people that are not doing the doomer bait, but they're doing technical analysis, they're doing macroeconomic analysis, international industrial analysis. Michael Oliver just had an incredible interview with Liberty and Finance this weekend. I highly recommend you go watch that. He's all about these proprietary ratios he's developed, charting. We're going to talk about a couple of those ratios today. Also, Andy Finding Value. The dude kicks out 2 videos a day, tons of technical analysis. There is no fluff whatsoever there. Highly respect him. So there's a couple for you. Now, just looking at the silver chart, just going to bring up my Interact here. Okay, silver, look at this. I mean, look at that flagpole, that God candle, series of God candles into this bull flag. So we obviously spiked to nominal all-time highs last week. And right now, what you're seeing is seller exhaustion. And how did I get here? I don't want that. Seller exhaustion we're wicking off these candles here, and buyers are waiting on the sidelines to run this thing up again. So this is your classic bull flag right here. The chart looks fantastic. Now, What I do is I have my watch list set up with all my precious metals names, and I have my miners, I have my ETFs, etc. So we'll just start alphabetically. Agnico Mines, they are the largest mining company in Canada, second largest gold miner in the world. Agnico, really cool name for a mining company. It's AGNICO, which stands for silver, nickel, and cobalt. And I just brought up a printout. Before I buy anything, I'm going to do that research. Annual gold production approximately 3.4 million ounces, market cap somewhere between 90 and 120 billion dollars. This is a monster. Even has a quarterly dividend of 40 cents a share. May want to look into this one. The chart looks fantastic. Look at that falling wedge. Just picture perfect setup out of this huge breakout here. Now, what do? I just scroll down, spacebar on Trading View, and brings me to my next. We've talked about it before. AG, First Majestic, fantastic silver miner. It's a major. Look at this. Embrace the pterodactyl. Look at that falling wedge. Just a classic bull setup. Now, a lot of these are just going to mimic that silver chart. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. I'm going to pass a few of these. Now, here's Barrick Gold, Barrick Mining. They do it all. But look at that again. Just another beautiful, huge green candle from that run up last week. And now we have the consolidation. What else have we done? Now, Buenaventura. Look at that. We have a descending column, another bullish pattern. So I'll be looking at that. Now, what I usually do is I set my breakout point at the top of that flagpole. So if she breaks out at 28.75, I know that we have momentum. I also look at the volume that is trading on a particular trading day. A lot of these I have as permanent holdings, but I also trade in and out of these. I do options, which I wouldn't recommend for the average investor. It takes a tremendous amount of training. Most of it's psychological, in fact, not technical. It is grueling, and you need a strong stomach for options trading, but you can buy shares in and out of these companies a lot more safely than trading the options. Here we go with Core Mining, another one of my holdings. None of this is financial advice, of course. Look at that. Another pterodactyl. Love it. Just a fantastic pattern right there. Let's go down to copper. Now, I didn't draw the lines on this guy, but again, look at this. Let me change this chart a little bit for you. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, shrink it up just a touch. But, what I do is start up here. Just going to drag that guy down. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're not in art class. Draw lines, make money, make shapes. It's not a lot different than kindergarten. Looks good, though. Great looking chart. What's next? Endeavor, another one of my holdings. Just look at that. You don't even have to draw the lines. After a while, this stuff just kind of becomes rote. And you see, yeah, we spiked up. Now we have a little bit of coiling, a little bit of consolidation before that next leg up. So let's keep an eye on that one. Now let's head down to good old gold. Oh yeah, there we go. Just another falling wedge pattern. My drawing isn't the best right here, but you get the idea. So we are long gold. Hecla, another one of our holdings. We have a descending column. She looks great. Really excited for what this company's going to do. Again, do your research. It's so easy to screen these now with AI. You used to have to go pull the 10Qs and 10Ks and, God forbid, listen to somebody like Jim Cramer. You don't want to do that. But nowadays, it's just so easy to screen these guys. Of course, there's all kinds of proprietary software, and everybody's trying to sell something, but watch this channel. Pick up some free information. How about Newmont? It's not the best looking. Kind of a broadening pattern right here, but if you squint, it could probably be a bull flag. I still love it. I hold it. Pan American silver. Yeah, baby. Look at that one. I mean, another pterodactyl there. I think I invented that, the pterodactyl moniker. But again, we have consolidation, buyers getting ready to rock and roll tomorrow morning. Palladium, big breakout last week, consolidation. Again, when it hits 1721, I already have my trigger set. I'll know. Guys, I have literally traded on a ski lift, okay? I'm riding up at Deer Valley in Park City, soaking up the sun. Life couldn't be better. All of a sudden, the trading view alert goes off in the pocket. Something's breaking out. Buy, buy, buy. By the time you're done with the run, you made enough to pay for your lift ticket. Let's see here. What else do we have? Platinum. Oh, good God. Look at that. What a breakout last couple of weeks. We gave you that one back in the 1700s. We've got our trigger set up here. Let's see. Where's our trigger at? 1987. That was a great year. A lot of Huey Lewis and the News music came out, I believe, around 87. Let's see. Yeah, all right. I want a new drug. All right, so she gets above that. She's just going to run again. We've been consolidating, but I think we're going higher. Silge J, the silver junior miners. I mean, here we go. Another pterodactyl pattern. Of course, silver. You'll get the idea. Let's see here. Uranium. A lot of uranium talk. And we're going to talk a little bit about energy, power, data, AI centers, and the need for energy. We are being grossly outpaced by China. Uranium will become scarce as America finally wakes up out of its deep, dark slumber and tries to catch up to China, which isn't not going to happen. But uranium will be at a premium, and that chart looks fantastic. We're entering a possible decade-long commodity bull cycle. People are not going to be investing in Carvana and Reddit. No, they're going to be investing in the components that make modern life possible. Silver, gold, platinum, palladium, uranium, rare earth metals, oil, farmland, etc. Speaking of rare earth, oh yeah, another bull wedge, just beautiful. Now, one thing I did want to highlight, this was interesting. This is something Michael Oliver talked about with the Liberty and Finance podcast. But let's see here. Silver, SPX. Let's get on a larger time frame. Let's go month. Let's go auto fit. Let's break this down. Guys, this is the most important thing that I'll say all day. Look at this chart. Okay, you think this looks spectacular? This is how undervalued silver is right now versus the SPX, which is at all-time highs. This was 2011, the last run-up with silver. Look where we got to versus where we are right now. We haven't even basically begun to break out, okay? Pay attention to this, screenshot this, screen record this. This chart is the most important chart that I will mention today. That's 2011. Want to get your mind blown? Let's zoom out further. Good God. Guys, this is 1980, Hunt Brothers, baby. Look at this chart, silver to SPX. This is what Michael Oliver highlighted. This is where we were in 1980. This is 2011. This is you and me right now. You're really worried about silver? You're asking yours truly, do I go to pawn shops to sell? When do I sell? What level do I sell? Looking at this chart, man, get a 15th extra job to collect fiat money to pour it into silver, not financial advice. Look at where we have to go. Let's go gold. Let's go NASDAQ. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is where we are. This is our potential upside with precious metals. This should blow your mind. Again, this is 2011, 2009, last big gold runs. This is where we are right now. Take a look at copper. Grossly undervalued, absolutely critical in all this industrial build out. I have a position in copper. Why wouldn't you? Uranium. Uranium. Sorry for the typing. Let's expand that. Yeah. Not as impressive, but I'm trying to widen this out. So you're looking at a little more speculative play here, just based off of the uranium to SPX chart. But, you know, there again on that monthly, hey, check it out from the earlier lesson. We are forming, if I can expand this any, get this over, auto fit it. It's another bull wedge, guys. And beautiful breakout. And nuclear and uranium has been so underutilized in modern society. That's why China is building 40 new nuclear power plants, and America is talking sternly about building nuclear power plants. And you know, it's a good thing America doesn't have a lot of regulation and red tape, and we should be able to get those up and running. Either way, whether it happens or not, you're going to see a uranium explosion because it is a super finite material and it is critical in what we are going to need gigawatt wise to power these AI and data centers and everything else. All right, guys. So that's a little bit of technical analysis. I'll be doing a little bit more of this. Thank you for watching this. And we're just going to transition back into a full screen. I'm going to go over a little bit more about energy and power usage and the contrast between the US and Western world and China. Then we're going to wrap it up, and we are ready to rock and roll for an awesome week. So thank you so much. And let's transition here. All right, folks, I am going to run through this really quickly and wrap up so you can get back to your Sunday. We are looking forward to the opening of these markets. I just wanted to highlight a couple of the confluent factors here we talked so much about. We just went over the charts. The data center and AI build out and the need for energy capacity is going to become monstrous worldwide. And right now we are in a head-to-head battle with China, and they are basically kicking out double the power that the United States is. Pulling up a lot of these charts, and what I'm going to have to do is screen share these as we get into it this week. But in terms of gigawatts generated per annum, China is doubling the US. China is building ridiculous solar capacity. Now, this guy, Jesse Pelton at Jesse, Peltan, just was retweeted by Elon Musk as he highlighted that China has installed more than twice as much solar capacity in the first half of 2025 as the rest of the world combined. Totally amazing. 250 gigawatts is now China's solar capacity. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't agree with blanketing the entire world with solar panels, but in terms of being a silver investor, the silver needed in the photovoltaic technology is astronomical. And China is an efficient dragon right now in terms of power generation. And the US is quickly falling behind. Regardless, it is sucking up an already 1.2 billion ounce deficit that has been created by demand versus supply over the last 6 years. China's nuclear capacity is exceeding the United States. Their solar is exceeding the US. Their wind is exceeding their hydro. And believe it or not, they are actually scaling down a bit on coal production because they are ramping up and focusing on these other energy generation technologies. So this is all going to play into the demand for silver. So that's one component of these silver markets. The other is the Western and American-based fiat currency system. This entire system is based off of confidence and based off of trust. And I will say I enjoyed the portion of the Bill Holter interview where he discussed the loss of confidence. There has been a major loss of confidence in the US banking system, the Federal Reserve, this malfeasant government that spends like wild monkeys, invades other sovereign countries, claims to be trying to stop drug wars when they're going after resources, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's happening. Seizing foreign assets, seizing Russian assets, kicking them out of the SWIFT banking system. Whether you agree with it or not, it gives other sovereign countries pause as to whether they should use the SWIFT banking system, whether they should use the petrodollar, whether they should use the US dollar as the world reserve currency. And all of that is going away. And so what that leads to is more confidence in precious metals, the accumulation of precious metals, and you're seeing that with sovereign countries like Poland and every other country and central bank accumulating massive amounts of precious metals. So we'll talk about it a little bit more this week. I still cannot get over this silver to SPX ratio chart. I'm so excited for where this thing's going to go. I am going to keep you absolutely up to the second updated on every development and then the tie-in with the technical analysis. So please come here to Full Bore Silver. You are going to have the latest breaking news, and you are going to have the advantage over all these people that are sleepwalking into the abyss with no awareness whatsoever of what is going on with their wealth, their assets, with the dollar, their savings, their retirement, etc. So you are in the 0.5% of investors, stackers, and give yourself a little pat on the back for tuning in and educating yourself on a Sunday. So we're going to have a fantastic week. Again, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.